Good morning. I wanted to talk about what apparently is the new boogeyman. There's like a boogeyman every week, I guess. I don't know. You'll have to ask these other channels. I don't know. But the new boogeyman happens to be that the federal government is buying up ammunition. Now, this very act is something that I have been raising hell about for well over a decade now. I guess these Johnny-come-latelys just happened to come across the memo. I don't know. This largely started happening in, I believe it was 1996. Bill Clinton is the one that put in place something called the 1033, okay? And while he had laid the basis for it, not a whole lot was being done with it at the time, and it had a lot of restrictions. As time went on, those restrictions were whittled away, and when Bush Jr. came along, now mind you, many of these channels are, it's the liberals, because they're not bright enough to figure out that they've been conned as well. If you are a diehard liberal, if you are a diehard conservative, guess what? You were fooled, because they're working together. This is just one way. So anybody out there that's liberals, well, why don't you get a clue? Because they're both doing this. When it comes to the 1033 program, it may have been started by liberals, but they're not the ones who's dumped the most into it. Oh no. Bush Jr. comes along with the Patriot Act. Most of those restrictions that it previously had were stripped away. A lot more individuals became eligible to receive 1033 items. And Bush just poured into it. I mean, poured into it. And then came along Obama. Now, Obama had even promised he was going to get rid of it, right? Because, he was all about defunding police and all that. We're going to get rid of the 1033 program. Well, no. He continued to pump stuff into it and even loosen it up even more. And then Trump came. And when Trump took office, he got all of the red team people cheering and all excited because of how he supported the blue line so strongly. And he just opened every faucet he could find when it came to the 1033 program. This is the equipment to build the standing army that your forefathers warned you about. And if people can't get their heads out of their collective asses enough to figure out that they're being conned on both sides of this political system, we ain't got any chance. I hear so many people just flippantly say, united we stand, divided we fall. Yeah? Well, then maybe you need to stop stepping down on everybody that doesn't see everything perfectly like you. Let's not be part of the problem. Whether it's the part of the problem of fear-mongering people, the part of the problem of dividing people, or just simply the part of the problem of spreading stupidity. This whole thing, nothing new. I've got a web page that I will link down in the bottom. Talks somewhat about it. When was this? This is from 2021, April 28th. So, relatively new information in it. 4 major moments in history that enabled the creation of the 1033 program. That was the Safe Streets Act of 1968, the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986, which was Reagan's puppy, the National Defense Authorization Act of 1990, and the Patriot Act of 2000. So, and this breaks it down. Again, it talks about more recent things, but it also goes back into the past, like right here. It says, um, it, all these weapons, vehicles, and equipment are acquired by police through a military program called 1033. It's like eBay for cops with leftover war equipment, except everything is free and you only pay for shipping and handling. Up until 2017, police couldn't be in the program unless they used equipment within a year of receiving it. Okay, so they had to use it. They had to find a reason to use it. Do you see a problem with that? It's kind of like giving somebody a quota for, tickets per month. Huh. So how did local police acquire all these military weapons, and why do they even need them? To answer this question, we're going to examine the 4 moments in history. And it goes through and it talks about the different times and why they felt that they needed this so much. And it's crazy, folks. It's crazy. And that's how they are able to do this. It's all of them. It's even the Department of Education. I've heard, the USDA. Yeah, it's literally, you think of a government agency and they're being allocated weapons and ammunition. So, and it's been going on long over a decade. I've been warning about it. I was warning about it when speaking up about it would have made a difference. Now they've got such a stockpile, you can run around your house with your arms up in the air screaming all day long. Ain't going to do a damn bit of difference. They've already built the damn army that some of us that aren't Johnny-come-latelys were warning about over a decade ago, when all you were still telling us conspiracy theorists to shut up. Oh, but now you see it today. Good job. Here's your cookie. Shalom.